Okay, so another position you're going to find yourself in when someone passes your guard is obviously the mount. And we're going to use the same principle, which is the frame and the hip escape. So before I attempt to do the frame and the hip escape part, I have to contextualize this potentially as a fight scenario, not just a jiu-jitsu match. In a jiu-jitsu match, I can hang out here. In a fight scenario, I'm about to have a concussion and my modeling career for the third time is about to be over. So I'm going to bridge. But if all I do is bridge without affecting Stefan's hips in any way, he can just ride the bridge. So if you just kind of relax, like go like that, nothing's going to happen. Bridging from the bottom of a mountain by itself is a absolutely futile endeavor. So if I want to affect him, I'm going to have to bridge and knee him in the butt at the same time. So that same knee bump that we did when we were defending the knee cut pass is what we're going to utilize here. I'm bridging and placing my knee against his butt. An important thing to note here, I'm not, if you sit back down, I'm not kneeing my partner in the kidney when I do this. This is not a strike. This is just a frame that's being enabled by my bridge. When I do this, I want to end up turning on my side. So if we go back, at the apex of the bridge, I want to have my elbows in. At the apex of the bridge, I end up turning on my side. And you'll notice that my right arm is against his far hip here. If I were to extend my elbow past, then I'm giving access to the back. So I want to make sure that I frame the far hip and the inside of this knee. So I've controlled the hip and the lever to the hip. It's a very, very important principle. Controlling the hip and the lever to the hip is one of the main ways that we access, whether it's escapes, sweeps, guard passes. So I've got this lever and I've got the hip. Now I'm going to bridge again, hip escape, and I bring my foot underneath. I can go all the way to half guard here, or I can go to butterfly guard. My personal preference here is to go to the butterfly guard because it allows me, in a fight context, to break distance, technical stand-up, get back to my feet. If we're just playing jiu-jitsu, it's certainly fine to go to the half guard and continue to work from your back.
What does that look like if you're doing it as a kata?
Please, yes. So, first, I'm going to, when I bridge, this is another little detail. When I bridge, if I keep my feet where they are and just elevate my hips, it's not going to be as explosive or ballistic as if I lift my feet slightly and push off with the balls of my feet. So if you're familiar with plyometrics are like box jumps or hand clap push-ups. You can generate more force with a rebound than you can from a static start. So I'm going to lift my feet slightly, bounce, and then I'm pushing with my knee, turning onto my side, creating the frames with my forearms and my elbows. From here, I'm going to bridge again. Sometimes I'm going to have to bump my opponent a few times. I'm going to bridge again, rotating my hips, because if all I do is bridge and try to hip escape with my hips really low, I don't necessarily create enough displacement in my opponent's weight. So when I rotate my hips, pull my knee through as I hip escape into the butterfly guard, or again into the half guard.
So once again, with someone on top of you.
Yep. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I don't get punched in the face, turn on my side, get my elbow in. I'm going to bump you forward if I need to do it again. Then I'm going to bridge, and you can see how I'm rotating my hips. And in this case, I end up in the half guard, I come to my underhook, and I can pursue my half guard game from there.
So that second bridge
Yeah.
isn't the way that most people practice bridges in their warm-up drills, because you're bridging and turning upside down, not upside down, belly down a little bit at the same time.
That's why this frame is so critical, because when I turn this way, I'm preventing you from going to my back.
Okay.
What I've found is that attempting to just bridge slightly and hip escape against larger opponents, guys with really strong legs, it just doesn't get the job done.
They just clamp.
They just clamp down on you. I've got a student in my academy who's a 230-pound high-level purple belt, judo black belt, very good athlete. If you want to escape his mount with a little tiny bridge, not going to happen. But by creating this extra bit of rotation, you create more displacement, you lengthen the lever, which allows you to get underneath it.